The need that the members of the body have for each other is not a secondary matter. It is the way that God has made the human body, and it is the way that He has made the church. It's perhaps one of the reasons why we talk about being in assembly fellowship, because the idea in fellowship is sharing together and working in partnership. Accordingly, we need to have a proper regard for every other member. We're going to read about this in 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 23 to 26. And those members of the body which we think to be less honourable, upon these we bestow more abundant honour, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. For our comely parts have no need, but God hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honour to that part which lacked, that there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another. And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honoured, all the members rejoice with it. So far, so good. Paul has been writing about the foot, the hand, the ear, the eye, the head, and the nose. Now, these are all well-known parts of the body, and their usefulness is obvious, most notably because they are associated with our senses. But not every member of the body is so obviously useful, and not every member is so visible. However, we will notice that there are three groups of less considered body parts in these verses. First, we read about those members of the body which seem to be more feeble in verse 22. Today we read about those members of the body which we think to be less honourable in verse 23, and also our uncomely parts in the same verse. We need to recognise that different parts have different prominence, and certain parts are not really meant to be seen. So let me apply it this way. If we have a proper understanding of the body, we ought to recognise the needs of those members that are weaker. We ought to attach an honour to those that we don't consider the most important. Far too often we ignore them as out of sight and out of mind. And we ought to treat properly those parts which are not meant to be presented in public. And of course, we should be willing to cover up the failings of our brethren rather than to publish them. Please excuse the overflying plane. We're on the flight path to the city airport. Paul explains to the Corinthians that God has tempered the body together, verse 24. What he means is that God has blended the body together in a harmonious way, bringing together the various benefits of each member into one coherent body. In this way, he gives an honour to every part, and a higher honour to those that we might consider less honourable, having given more abundant honour to that part which lacked, verse 24. There's nothing without purpose in the body, and even if other Christians don't appreciate our contribution as they should, God does, and he will give more abundant honour to those who serve quietly and unobtrusively. So we should not divide the body into important and unimportant parts, better and worse parts, honourable and dishonourable parts. There are none of the latter in the three sets in the body. There should be no schism in the body, is what Paul writes, but rather the members should have the same care one for another, verse 25, whatever our contribution is. The members of the body should be concerned for each other, knowing that care of and concern for the others is in fact beneficial for me, because we are all part of the one body. Paul concludes, whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it, or one member be honoured, all the members rejoice with it, verse 26. If we have that care for each other, we will truly be a united body, supporting each other in the bad times, rejoicing with each other in the good times, and all playing our part to the benefit of all, to the benefit of the whole body.